The night of my birthday finally arrived. I dressed up, glowing with excitement, ready to announce my pregnancy to everyone. But just as I stood to speak, my fiancé handed me a folded note. I opened it, expecting something sweet. Instead, in cold, blunt words, it read, "I'm leaving you. Don't call me." The room spun. My hands shook as whispers spread. My special night had turned into a nightmare in front of everyone. I was 27, glowing with excitement. I had just discovered I was pregnant with my first child. For weeks, I had planned the perfect surprise. My birthday would also be the day I told everyone, my family, my friends, and most importantly, my fiancé. I imagined his face lighting up, pulling me into his arms, whispering how happy he was. But life had other plans. The house was full of laughter, music, and the smell of cake. My friends were chatting in the living room, my family was buzzing in the kitchen, and my fiancé, let's call him Chris, was playing the charming host. My heart was pounding. I had the little envelope ready. Inside, an ultrasound photo. I couldn't wait for that magical moment. But then, as the candles were being lit and the room filled with anticipation, Chris slipped a folded piece of paper into my hand. I thought maybe it was a love note or something sweet. Instead, my world collapsed. The words are burned into my mind even now. I can't do this anymore. Don't try to find me. Goodbye. I froze. The room spun. Everyone around me was singing happy birthday, while I stood there, clutching that note, tears welling in my eyes. I somehow blew out the candles, plastered a smile on my face, and excused myself. No one noticed the storm raging inside me. That night, he left. The following weeks were a blur. I was pregnant, alone, and drowning in questions. Why did he leave? Did I do something wrong? Every doctor's appointment, every craving, every wave of morning sickness, I faced it alone. But I told myself I had to be strong. For my baby. Still, something gnawed at me. Chris wasn't just gone. He had vanished like a ghost. Until one day, the truth came crashing down. I ran into a mutual friend who couldn't hide the guilt in her eyes. After some pressing, she blurted it out. Chris was living with another woman. Not just any woman, my best friend. Maria. The same Maria who had held my hand through breakups. Who had helped me plan my baby announcement. Who was supposed to be my sister. In spirit. I felt like I had been stabbed in the back twice. Once by the man I loved, and again by the woman I trusted most. I confronted Maria. Her face was smug, almost proud. She told me Chris never wanted the baby, that he wanted freedom. And with her, he finally had it. The pain turned to rage. I told her she could keep him, but she would also inherit the karma that came with betraying a pregnant woman. And oh, did karma come. The next months were hell. I worked extra shifts, balanced bills, and tried to keep my stress low for the baby. Nights were lonely, but I held my belly and whispered, "We'll be okay. We'll make it." When my son was born, I cried tears of joy. Holding him in my arms, I realized Chris hadn't abandoned me. He had freed me, but his choices were about to catch up with him. Rumors trickled in over time. Chris and Maria's perfect romance? Turns out Maria wasn't interested in being a stepmom. She wanted a party lifestyle, not diaper duty. Chris had lost his job, drained his savings, and Maria eventually dumped him. The same way he had dumped me. And when he tried crawling back, knocking on my door with fake tears and promises, he begged to be part of our lives. He said he missed me, that he wanted to be a father. But where was he when I cried myself to sleep? Where was he when I held our newborn alone in a cold hospital room? I told him he could visit his child through the court system only. No second chances. No happy family reunion. Maria, she moved on to another man with more money, leaving Chris bitter and alone. Meanwhile, I rebuilt my life. I focused on my career, my son, and my peace. I surrounded myself with real friends and family who had my back. Every laugh my son gave me was proof. I didn't need Chris. I had everything I needed right here. And as the years passed, the pain turned into strength. One day, I ran into Maria at a cafe. Her face was tired, her eyes hollow. She tried to act superior, but the bitterness in her voice gave her away. Meanwhile, I was glowing my son's giggles in the background, my career thriving. I didn't need to say anything. My happiness was the loudest revenge. Looking back, I realized Chris's note wasn't a curse. It was a blessing in disguise. Yes, he betrayed me. Yes, Maria hurt me. But if they hadn't, I wouldn't be here now stronger, wiser, and raising a son who will grow up knowing what true love looks like. So to Chris, wherever you are, thank you. You didn't break me. You built me. And to anyone listening who feels abandoned or betrayed, remember this. Sometimes the people who walk away are doing you the biggest favor. Because when they leave, they make space for the life you truly deserve.